Welcome back, fellow historians, to the history of colonial and revolutionary New York. In our previous lessons, we learned that by 1763, Great Britain had 13 colonies, or they had control over the 13 colonies. And today, we're going to explore further and analyze how these colonies contributed to Great Britain's empire. In other words, how did Great Britain benefit from these colonies? As always, you're going to need your notebook, a pencil, and your investigating hat. So you can pause this video now to gather your materials and copy down your teaching point. So the British Empire ruled over the 13 colonies, and this lasted from 1607 to 1776. Now, this began with the first colony, or first British colony, which was Virginia, and that was founded in 1607. And the 13 colonies were officially formed when Georgia became a colony of Britain in 1763. Now, before 1763, there were other European countries that had colonies in America. However, by 1763, the British government was able to gain control of all these colonies, and unfortunately, they did this by fighting those other Europeans for control. Now, the 13 colonies were made up of 3 regions: New England, Middle Colonies, and Southern Colonies. The New England colonies included Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, and Connecticut. The Middle Colonies included New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware. And finally, the Southern Colonies included Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. And if you notice and you take a look at our map, the 13 colonies were all at the border of the Atlantic Ocean. And this was because they were doing trade at that time. They were trading with Great Britain, bringing raw materials and things that they grew in the 13 colonies and bringing it back to Great Britain. Now, the British in 1650 started bringing Africans to America to work as slaves, and this began or became to be known as the slave trade. And we're going to learn more about this in our future lessons. So here's our takeaway for today. Colonies provided materials and valuable goods to the mother country. The mother country was a country that had power over the colony, and this was known as mercantilism. As you can see in this political cartoon, here's the mother country represented by this really rich lady, and her maids are the colonies, and they're bringing her gold and silver, food, and raw materials from those colonies. And this is exactly what happened during that time. And if we think about this, who's really benefiting? Are the colonies really benefiting from this, or is it the mother country? And now it's your turn. You're going to do an investigation. You're going to watch the video, The History of Colonial America, and think about how the colonies contributed to the British Empire. What did they grow? What did they trade? What was a part of, how did the British Empire benefit from these colonies? What did they provide for Great Britain? All right, I'll see you next time. And remember to make a connection.